Welcome to Heath Riles BBQ. Today on Shooting the Q, we're going to be cooking Memphis Style Dry Ribs my way. I'll be cooking Cheshire Pork baby back ribs. They're cut down, they're about 2.5 pounds per slab. I'm going to be cooking on the Traeger Grill at 250 degrees with pecan pellets. Hope you're ready. Now that we've got these ribs out of the pack and dried off, now I'm not going to do any trimming on these ribs. If it's got anything loose hanging on, I'm not worried about anything like that. These ribs actually come skinned with a membrane already off of them from the factory. If there's any thick pockets of fat, you want to be sure you remove any of that. But these ribs look great. So the only thing I'm going to do, first off, I'm going to go ahead and get a good layer of my salt, pepper, garlic with a little bit of jalapeno powder in it. My #1 garlic jalapeno rub. Gotta have it, gotta use it on some ribs. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little dose of that down. Now, you'll see, and I'm going to come back with some sweet rub then. And that's going to be it for these ribs. They're going to be really simple. We're not going to wrap them. We are going to mop them with a little bit of a Memphis style mop that I'll show you when we make it up. But that's going to be it. We're just going to put them on the Traeger and let them go. Kind of pat some of this in right here. Now, turn it over. And we want to do the same thing on the front. A little bit of this salt, pepper, garlic for a little bit of heat and good base. Whew, love the smell of that rub. And come back with a little sweet on top of that. And be sure you get all the sides of your rib and everything. I'm going to go ahead and mash it in some. And you can see how on this right here, that's a little bit lighter. You can raise it up here and get on the edge like that. Now, you just want to be sure that you pat it in. And we're going to do the same thing on this rib here. We're going to come down it. Be sure you get those edges really good. You can see I take my hand and use as a barrier so it falls where it needs to go to. And once we get it shaken on pretty good, we just want to pat it in. And that's pretty much it. Now, I'm not a huge fan of watching my meat sweat in and anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get these on the grill. Now, I think they look good enough. Any pockets you see you missed or anything like that, you want to be sure to go ahead and re-season. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead, get them on my Traeger, and let them get going. I'm going to let them go for about 1.5 hours before I check them, and then I'm going to start mopping them. And I'll show you how to make that mop just shortly. Let's get them on. We got our ribs here on the Traeger now. And as you can see, the color and everything looks good on the rub. And I'm going to go ahead and get the grill lid shut and let them go for about 1.5 hours before we check them. Alright, now that we've had our ribs on the grill for about 1.5 hours, I checked them at 1 hour. They weren't quite ready to baste, so I waited another 30 minutes and now they're ready to baste. I've made up a simple, just Memphis style mop. I took 8 ounces of Italian dressing and I strained it. I also took 16 ounces of apple cider vinegar and 3 tablespoons of the sweet dry rub and just mixed up. Now you want to take your mop or a whisk or anything and kind of stir it up before you get ready to mop your ribs. Now let's come on over here to the grill and let's mop our ribs and let's see what they look like. Now remember to go ahead and stir up your mop a little bit before you start mopping. Let's come on in and see what the ribs look like at 1.5 hours in. You can see how the rub is starting to tack up. It's not wiping off on my finger. That's what I do, a little bit of a smear test. So now let's go ahead and start mopping them. Now we're just going to keep these wet. We're going to start checking them about every hour. Get that little bit of sizzle going on. And we're just going to keep mopping them is all we're going to do. About every 45 minutes to an hour we'll check them. And just keep them wet. That's all we're wanting to do. So they draw back and they get the tenderness we want. Alright, let's get this grill lid shut and start checking them again. Alright, it's been 45 minutes. We want to go ahead and check our ribs now and baste them again if they need basting. And yep, it looks like they need basting. So I want to get in here now and make sure you stir your baste up a little bit. And go ahead and get it mopped on. Oh, I wish you could smell this baste right here. It smells so good. Now we just want to keep this basted on again. We're going to get this grill lid shut and we're going to let it go another 45 minutes. Check it again. Now our ribs have been cooking for a total cook time of almost 6 hours. We let them go an hour and a half. We started mopping them with our mop every 45 minutes. They've been on about 5 hours and 45 minutes. Honestly, they've got that bend that I want. I want to go ahead and I want to get them off. And so, see me getting under that right there? It's got that good flop under it. I'll go ahead and lay them up here. Alright, now that we've got our ribs laid out here on the cutting board, I've took a little bit of my sweet rub now and sprinkled on top of it. That's the perfect Memphis style dry rib to us. We absolutely love it. These Cheshire Farms ribs have turned out beautiful. So what I want to do now is go ahead and scoot that back. I'm going to turn this rib over, and you see how it kind of drew back, you know, a little bit. I'm going to get in here. I'm going to cut in between the bones, just like that. Well, excuse me, I was going the wrong way there. Get in between the bones, cut these out. They are warm. That is tender. It is juicy. I want you to look at that smoke ring right there that Traeger got in there. That's really good right there. Now, you can take, and look, that meat will just peel off the bone right there. The hint of that apple cider vinegar basted over those ribs with that Italian dressing strained in it with the garlic, jalapeno, and sweet rub gives us the perfect balance of sweet and heat with it being a dry rib. If you like what we're doing here, please like and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be putting out weekly videos. This Cheshire rib turned out absolutely perfect. I can't wait for you to try it at home. Remember, like and subscribe to our channel. You'll get our newsletter every week and everything. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching our videos. Thank you.